Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I like to roast pumpkins, and it's really easy. There's really nothing to it. So first thing you'll want to do is scrub, clean, and wash your pumpkin because they do come with debris on them, so you'll want to do that first. Okay, so what you'll want to do at this point is obviously to cut open your pumpkin. But what I have found is to actually slice it this way and not this way. It's a lot easier to scoop out the inside for some reason when you slice into it this way. So this is kind of tricky, which is why I think a lot of people slice it this way because it's balanced. But what you can do is kind of go into your pumpkin with your point and then just do the best you can. There we go. So just like this, you'll want to scoop out all of this. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to scoop it out onto this baking sheet, or this baking tray sheet. And I find a rice paddle works really well. You just kind of go around and get all of the seeds in the inside. I typically, in one of my last videos, I used a metal spoon. That also works, kind of helps cut through the pumpkin flesh, but here we go, just like that. And I'm just going to dump it out onto this sheet and save the seeds for roasting. And if you want to continue scraping it a little bit for the, get some of the stringy bits out, that works too. So there we go. And I'm just going to repeat the process for this side, and I'm going to cut open one more. I'm going to be roasting 2 pie pumpkins today. By the way, I did use the rice paddle to scoop out all the seeds and not break them apart. That really does help, but to get those pesky little stringy bits, a metal spoon works, just a regular spoon. Okay. Okay, so I've lined a large baking sheet with parchment paper, and I've just arranged all my halves onto the baking sheet. By the way, I went ahead and chopped off the long stems. I used a cleaver to chop those off. I don't actually think it makes a difference, but just I didn't want these big stems sticking up in the oven, so I chopped them off. And you'll always want to be careful when you're cutting open your pumpkins because they are round, and the way that I cut them, it's kind of wobbly, it's not stable. So it is convenient to cut them this way, but if it is safer to cut them the other way because you're working with the flat bottom. So it's really up to you. Always be safe. So these are going to be going into a preheated oven at 375 degrees for about 50 minutes to an hour, or until I can poke a fork. Just use your fork, and if it's tender, it goes through and comes out, it's done. So while my pumpkins are roasting, I'm just going to separate the seeds from all of this, the center that I scooped out from the pumpkins. And it's really easy. You just kind of squeeze it and grab a bunch of the seeds. And because you scooped them out kind of all in one bunch, it's easy just to kind of grab and separate the seeds from the stringy bits and flesh that you scooped out. Okay, so I'm just going to spread this out on my clean kitchen towel and just let them dry. Honestly, I just like to leave them like all day on the towel, kind of give them a zhuzh throughout the day, and by tomorrow I'll roast these. But if you're interested in roasting these pumpkin seeds, like I said, it's really easy. I typically do, I like to do a slow roast. I don't do it at a high heat. I actually like to put these like around 325 or 350 and just let them go for a period of time until they get toasty, a little bit of crispiness on the outside. And I don't want the seasoning to burn if you are going to season them. Sometimes you could do like your own barbecue rub and season them. You could do ranch seasoning or just salt. You can just season them with a little bit of oil and salt and roast them. But yeah, so that's that. If you want to save your pumpkin seeds, this is how I clean them and just let them dry and then roast later. Oh yeah, that's soft. Okay, so here is my roasted pumpkin. So as you can see, I really couldn't even pierce it. I guess the skin got really like, I guess tough. But when you flip it over, and this is actually really hot. Let's see. I mean, it's already falling apart. See? So definitely the flesh is soft and tender. And at this point, you could literally serve this in a bowl or on a plate, sprinkle it with some brown sugar, butter, honey, ground cinnamon, and that is a treat. You could use this as pumpkin puree, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to let these cool off. I'm probably going to flip them all over. Let them cool, pop them into my food processor, and I'm going to be making pumpkin butter with this. So pumpkin pie is another thing you can do. I will link my very old YouTube video where I roasted pumpkins and made a pumpkin pie with that. You definitely can do that, or follow your favorite pumpkin pie, but this is a great way to roast pumpkins and make your own pumpkin puree. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.